Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you enjoy my content, then please subscribe and hit the little notification bell and like, share, comment, etc, etc. If you're returning, welcome back. If you would like to support the channel just with a tiny little fee each month, then you can hit the join button and it will really help me out to grow this channel and make it better, improve it, etc. And you may have noticed I've started posting shorts, which are quotes from different occult authors. I'm on TikTok now. Wow, finally made it. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's at Lee W. Johnson. I'm there also now. And so let's get into today's video, all about demonic pacts. Now, if pacts are one of those things that are often heard about, spoken about, usually from a Hollywood perspective, really, and that's what I wanted to actually get into today. Some of the myths around pacts and things like that. But if you've read books on the old grimoires, like Grimorium Verum, you would have come across the mention of pacts in there. But you'll probably find, if you've studied modern demonolatry, then you'll probably find that there's not a lot of mention of pacts. The reason being that modern demonolators prefer to actually create a relationship with the the divine intelligence, the demonic force, the spirit that they are wishing to work with. So there's no case of, I want to work with a particular demon, therefore I'm just going to make a pact and that's it. There's actually a relationship that evolves, that gets created. So there's no need to make that pact at the end of the day. It's an ongoing relationship. It's not just a once-off, you do this, I'll do that, and that's it, bam, boom, etc. But if you are wishing to make a pact with a demon, then it's quite simple, really. It's a contract, an oath. Now, when we talk about oaths, in our modern day, we find that a lot of people make promises and they don't stick to them. They may even make contracts and then they'll find a way to get out of it. When you make a contract or a pact or an oath with the demon, there's no way of getting out of it. It's an oath. You're bound to it and you have to follow through. So if you're going to make a pact, think very carefully of what you're actually going to put in that pact. But generally a pact is an agreement, it's a contract. You ask the demonic force to do a particular thing for you, and in return you will do a particular thing for them, an exchange. And when I talk about demonolators creating relationships with the demonic force, this exchange of energy takes place anyway. It takes place all the time. So over a period of time, could be a few months, could be years, could be a lifetime, that relationship builds, but there's an exchange of energy. So you give your energy and something is given in return. In order to get something, you need to give something, basically. And this is what the pact is about. So you would ask for the demonic force to give you something, you would give them something in return. And that's what the pact really is. So when you're creating a pact, you usually write it in a letter form. And that letter is, you can put your blood on it to seal the oath, and then you put it away. But remember that you have to follow through. So do what you said you were going to do. Regardless of what happens, you have to do what you did, what you said you were going to do. So remember to follow through. Now, the myths. When you make a pact with a demon, they do not take your soul. You do not sell your soul to the devil. You do not sell your soul to a demon. In fact, if you make a pact with the demonic force and you say, in 10 years' time, you can have my soul, they are going to laugh at you and they're going to say, that's not what I want, so bugger off. If you don't listen to that and you carry on with the pact, what you'll probably find is an astral parasite will come along and go, ooh, food, and will latch onto you and will start giving you those things that you asked for in the pact, posing as that demonic force. But what happens is they will just create fear, anxiety, depression in you. You will slowly be drained of energy. You will become a shell of yourself at the end of the day. So don't go making pacts where you are selling your soul to a demonic force, because it won't work. It's going to be detrimental to you. You're going to carry on thinking you've made this pact with this demon, but you didn't actually. You made it with an astral parasite who's posing as that demon. So there's no selling your soul. You don't go and say, in 10 years' time, you can have my soul and drag me to hell, etc. That's Hollywood stuff. So, as I say, I mean, a lot of this stuff we know about from Hollywood movies and Hollywood TVs and TV series and, Supernatural and things like that. And although I love them, I mean, Supernatural was a fantastic TV series. It's not altogether true. Right, so if you are going to make a pact, as I say, it's a contract, it's an oath. You write a letter saying, Demon XYZ, I ask that you perform these particular tasks for me, and in return I will give you XYZ. Now, what you give can vary. The best thing to actually do is actually sit down with the demonic force and actually ask them what they want. It's the same if you're doing evocation work. You call the demon to your space, you ask it to do an XYZ, and you give it something in return. And that thing that you give in return, it's better to ask the demon what they want in return instead of trying to guess. There are various ways you can do divination work to find out what the demon wants, or you can just sit down and ask directly. And so you create your contract, you create your pact. Demon XYZ, I ask that you do this and that for me. In return, I will give you ABC. And then you sign it. You can put your blood on it, fold it up, put it away, and stick to it. That's it. Do not put in I am selling my soul to you, or in 10 years' time you can take my soul. All of that Hollywood garbage. Don't bother with that, because it's not going to help you. All right? That's if you want to make a pact. But as I say, you don't need to make a pact with a demon. You can simply build a relationship, and that relationship continues over months, over years, and you just continually work with the demonic force that can help you with the things that you want to bring into your life or change in your life. That's the best way to go about it. I did make a pact years ago with Clawneck, and it was a very simple pact. It was, help me with money, bring me riches, etc. Can't quite remember what I actually offered in return. I do remember that he wanted my left shoe. I had some old trainers, tackies. We call them tackies in South Africa. I had a pair of these old shoes, and he wanted my left one. So I put it on the altar with the box that the pact was put in, and that was his offering. There were some other things that I offered in return, and it worked. But that was a long time ago. This was before I actually discovered Modern Daemonolatry. I was working in more of a satanic Satanism format. I remember I was reading a lot of material on the Joy of Satan website, which is a very good website, by the way. Got a lot of meditations on there, if it's still up. I think I checked recently and it's still there. So have a look at the Joy of Satan website if you're interested. But yeah, I remember that pact. That brought me money to get through a particular period in my life where things were very, very difficult. So it brought me enough money to get through that period. It was about 6 months, 6 to 10 months that took place, and then at the end of it, that was it. That was the pact finished. Still here, haven't sold my soul. Not going to hell. Not being dragged to hell by hellhounds or anything like that. So, you know, you can do the pacts if you want to, but as I said, if you're going to really work with a demonic force, then it's better to build a relationship. And that's really it. There's not really much to actually mention about pacts. I mean, if you go into Grimorium Verum, there's there's a particular way you make the pacts. You work with a particular spirit, which is kind of like the gatekeeper, and then you go through that spirit and you contact the other spirits like Clawneck, and you can make the pacts according to the grimoire itself. But really study that. The problem with the Grimorium Verum is there's a lot of material that's missing. I think it's the layman right at the beginning. It's missing. There are no copies that the layman actually appears in, so people just sort of guess at it. So if you are going to work with one of the old grimoires, just make sure you know it, you know what's going on, you understand it, and you understand how to actually work with the spirits in a particular fashion. It's not my preferred method. I will probably start taking the grimoires to pieces in the future and get down to the nitty-gritty of how to work with those particular grimoires in a particular fashion, which is more akin to Modern Daemonolatry, but that's going to be quite a hefty work, so you'll have to wait for now. And that's it for this week. So hopefully I'll see everybody on Friday during the live chat. If you actually find that the time that we do the live chat doesn't work for you, please give suggestions and we can look at adjusting the time. It is international, so we have people from Australia, from South Africa, from the US, from England, and so it's difficult to get a time which is actually coherent for everybody. So we've kind of placed it in that 4 p.m. GMT spot to try and kind of get it to fit into everybody's time zones. But if you've got any other suggestions, just let us know. Maybe the day is not right. It is Friday, so in the US it's Friday morning. A lot of people are at work, so anyway, give us suggestions if you think that the time of the Blackout Chat could be improved, could be changed to make things better for everybody. And anyway, hope to see you there on Friday. And that's it. So, hope to see you on Friday, or I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Cheers.